First of all, fantastic character design for Ashoka Tano. Would have been great if we saw a character design like this for Ahsoka in the future, or at some point. This was from the Mortis arc, of course. It's from a futuristic vision that Ahsoka had on Mortis. Now, if Ahsoka Tano had never left the Jedi Order, meaning after Ahsoka was acquitted and Barris was found guilty of bombing the Jedi Temple, and Ahsoka's in the Jedi Temple talking to the Jedi Masters, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Saesee Tiin, Plo Koon, Mace Windu, Yoda, Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker is not a master, and Master Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's just say that she accepted and she came back to the Jedi Order. I think that the moment Ahsoka Tano accepted and came back to the Jedi Order, she would immediately be promoted to Jedi Knight. Why do I think that? First of all, she underwent an incredible trial and went through many hardships, and she's been through things that a lot of Jedi have not been through. And Ki-Adi-Mundi quite literally says to Ahsoka's face, "This is the sign of a true Jedi Knight." And Mace Windu literally says, "This was actually your great trial." So I think it's heavily implied and hinted that she would have been promoted to Jedi Knight had she returned. Because of course the Council, while they are too proud to apologize directly, they might show their sincerity by taking a bold action and giving her a reward as compensation for the horrible thing they did to her by expelling her and not believing her. So I think she'll be promoted to Jedi Knight because, first of all, she deserves it, and also as a token by the Jedi Council. Now, in addition, first of all, I know people are going to say, well, Anakin was handing Ahsoka her Padawan braid, so surely she was just going to come back as a Padawan. And no, I think the Padawan braid thing was just more symbolic than anything. I don't think that she was going to become a Padawan again. I think she would have just straight up been promoted to Jedi Knight. Now, if Ahsoka Tano had become a Jedi Knight, then she would have still been very close to Anakin Skywalker, and they would have still gone on many missions together, probably. And as I said, Anakin Skywalker would be promoted to the rank of Jedi Master, so it would be Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker and Jedi Knight Ahsoka Tano. So already, Anakin being a Jedi Master does throw things in for a loop, but not by much. Now, it's possible that Ahsoka Tano would take a Padawan of her own. Or maybe the Jedi Council would assign Ahsoka Tano a Padawan because their logic might be, well, Ahsoka is very smart and a very good Jedi, so it would be helpful if someone started learning from her if she was able to teach people very quickly. And so maybe Ahsoka Tano would be assigned one of the younglings from the Youngling arc. And in the Youngling arc in season 5, there were a group of younglings: Katuni, Gungi, Petro, and several others. So she would probably take one of them as her Padawan, and she would start training her own Padawan. Now, meanwhile, Jedi Master Anakin Skywalker would certainly feel more respected by the Jedi Council, but he would still hate them for other reasons. He would find other reasons to hate them. And Anakin is very proud, arrogant, and boastful, and has a lot of issues. And so, even with Ahsoka Tano staying in the Jedi Order, even with Ahsoka Tano being a Jedi Knight, and he himself being a Jedi Master, it would still be difficult for him to keep up the Jedi lifestyle, especially with the fact that he's sleeping with Padme and is married to her too. So I think that things would still continue to devolve and degrade. Now, in regards to the Siege of Mandalore, Bo-Katan would probably have to come to the Jedi Council directly, because obviously she wouldn't be in a situation where she would just randomly run into Ahsoka. So there we have that. And I think that in such a situation, with Bo-Katan coming to the Jedi Council directly, I think the Jedi Council will probably send an actual member of the Jedi Council to deal with Darth Maul on Mandalore. And so maybe the Jedi Council sends, say, Shakti to Mandalore to deal with Darth Maul. Meanwhile, Ahsoka Tano and her Padawan would, be fighting the war, and Chancellor Palpatine would still get kidnapped, and and kidnapped in quotation marks because, Darth Sidious orchestrated the whole thing. And Revenge of the Sith would turn out the same way, except this time it's Shaak Ti fighting on Mandalore and Shaak Ti fighting Darth Maul. Now, sure, Darth Sidious would still appoint Anakin Skywalker to the Jedi Council. However, in this scenario, Anakin Skywalker, since he's already a Jedi Master, since he's already been a Jedi Master since Season 5 of the Clone Wars, he's not going to be resentful to the Jedi Council for not making him a Master. He'll be resentful to the Jedi Council for other reasons. So Darth Sidious would have to weaponize on those other reasons. And Darth Sidious would still manage to get Anakin to be incredibly resentful and horrible to the Jedi Council. And if you remember, the final straw was really when Darth Sidious convinced Anakin that he had the power to save Padme, and that only by following him could he save Padme. And so that's why Anakin finally turned and cut off Mace Windu's hand and let Darth Sidious kill Mace Windu. So Anakin would have still done that, and Anakin would have become Darth Vader. Revenge of the Sith would have turned out exactly the same way as it did. Now, would Ashoka Tano have survived Order 66? Maybe. I'm not sure. Because the reason she survived Order 66 to begin with is because, of course, she happened to be very lucky. She, Rex kind of gave her a warning because Rex was trying to resist the inhibitor chip, and he gave her enough of a warning to sort of figure things out and think things through. And she was also on a Star Cruiser where things were, more closed off, but she had more resources to jump around. And so I'm not sure that Ashoka Tano would survive Order 66. Yoda and Obi-Wan would, and Revenge of the Sith would turn out the same way. Now, as for Shaak Ti on Mandalore, I think Shaak Ti would easily, not easily, but she would manage to capture Darth Maul because, Shaak Ti is a master on the Jedi Council, and she's also very good at lightsaber fighting, so she would probably capture Darth Maul. And I think it's possible that Darth Maul might tell Shaak Ti about what's going to happen with Anakin Skywalker, but maybe not. So if Darth Maul did tell her, then Shaak Ti would immediately tell Mace Windu and Yoda. Although I'm not sure that Mace Windu and Yoda would necessarily be effective in dealing with any of that, so who knows? Now, Shaak Ti would, let's just say Shaak Ti is still assigned to Captain Rex, or maybe she's with other clones, but once the clones turn on her and execute Order 66, she would probably escape and be smart enough to escape them, and she would probably make the connection, put 2 and 2 together about the inhibitor chips, because, Shaak Ti was dealing with the inhibitor chips, so she would immediately figure out that the inhibitor chips were an issue, and she would maybe try to get the clones to take them out, or maybe she would just escape somehow. But I think Shaak Ti would survive Order 66 in this scenario. And Darth Maul, of course, escaped too. So that's what I think would happen. I think that Ahsoka staying in the Jedi Order, or rather returning to the Jedi Order, she would be promoted to Jedi Knight, and Anakin would be a Jedi Master. But even with Anakin Skywalker being a Jedi Master, it would not change anything in Revenge of the Sith or onwards. Although the question looms is, would Ahsoka survive? And if she did survive into Rebels, then that could affect the Rebel storyline. If she didn't, then that could also affect the storyline. So who knows? I'm not sure what would happen to Ahsoka if she had stayed, other than the fact that she would have probably just become a Jedi Knight.